Canadians love talking about our immigration system, and increasingly, so does the rest of the world. But there are 3 common misconceptions we'd like to clear up. First, Canada is letting in too many immigrants. Let's start by looking at how many immigrants we welcome every year. Under Justin Trudeau's Liberals, the target for 2017 is 300,000. There are 36 million people in Canada, so that represents less than 1% of our population. And while 300,000 is higher than we've seen for a long time, it doesn't represent an all-time high for Canada. In 1913, over 400,000 people immigrated, encouraged by the government's Western Settlement campaign. Proportionately, that's more than 5 times today's rate. Now, let's look at it another way. 1 out of 5 people in Canada are foreign-born. Is that too many? Too many for what? Too many for the economy to support? Or is it that there are too many people from new cultures threatening the Canadian way? That brings us to our next misconception. Immigration will dilute Canadian culture. There's this idea that we have a singular Canadian culture and that it's under siege by anti-Canadian values. Conservative leadership candidate Kelly Leitch is particularly concerned about this.
There is a second part to my proposal. That is to screen all immigrants, refugees, and visitors to Canada for their agreement with Canadian values.
And Conservative leadership candidate Maxime Bernier is also worried about this, stating on his website, "Our immigration policy should not aim to forcibly change the cultural character and social fabric of Canada, as radical proponents of multiculturalism want." The reality is, colonization drastically changed the culture of this land, and immigration continued to change our social fabric ever since. Which leads me to the last misconception, that all Canadian immigration is one huge humanitarian favor. While humanitarian concerns are rightfully central to the Canadian system, refugees are a small part of it. Even in 2016, a year where the Liberal government ramped up refugee admissions, those numbers accounted for less than 20% of total immigration. The majority of immigrants come through economic streams, applicants who are admitted based on their ability to contribute to the Canadian economy. This year, the target is that 58% of permanent residents admitted come from these streams. And because our aging population threatens economic growth, according to a study from the Conference Board of Canada, the feds will have to ramp up these numbers to 407,000 by 2030 to fuel the economy. Hope that clears things up. Now, go tell a friend.